Kuna mtu pale Twitter amesema ati watching Kaluma trying to understand economics from Ndindi Nyoro. Ndindi Nyoro was making his presentation about this mess of selling the 15% Safaricom shares by government. Because ameelezea committee, government already imepeana waivers za hii sale close to 80 billion Kenya shillings. Why? And why is it a closed sale? Kama inastahili kugenerate pesa, si expose even to international foreigners. Let us get the highest bidder winning this tender. Kwa nini inafanywa tu ni hawa tu watabuy? Why and what is the interest? Who are this advisory that advised government to specifically sell to this specific group, Vodafone? Kwa nini hao pekee tu ndio wako allowed to bid for this? Kaluma hashikanishi. Watu wanasema Kaluma trying to understand this is like watching Oscar Sudi read English. By the way, maswali zake zote zinachoma nje. Hi, guy. Kaluma.
We'll just cut corners, take government assets for free, and purport to be the only buyers in the market. Who said there is the only buyer? We should not be discussing anything below 45 per share. But we've been cornered by these guys. We are now gasping for breath on the side of the loss. On one license, we are losing 40 billion Kenya shillings. One license. On a discount, given how? Given only by the management of CA. They actually gave this authorization before the board met. What role are they playing for them to be paid 40% of the 3 billion? I can't withdraw, Chair, even if I'm to end my discussion here. Because my presentation today, history will prove me right. I know, and I'll table at the right time.
But you see, you've mentioned it in this committee.
Chairman, who authorized the Communications Authority to commit to give a discount to Safaricom in the renewal of 5 licenses, which some I have tabulated in my memorandum? That Kenya in that respect is losing close to 100 billion Kenya shillings on conditions precedent. This we have already promised the buyer. We have told them, you buyers out, you'll pay half the license fee. Half the license fee in terms of billions of shillings. Money enough to make basic education in Kenya free today. So the Communications Authority, the management, went ahead to commit Kenya to a loss of over close to 100 billion Kenya shillings on conditions precedent. The board had not met when the management of CA did that. And I would want them to table to this committee when the board of CA met to actually discuss about not any other matter, the conditions precedent that we have given to the buyers where Kenya is losing over 100 billion shillings. So we are here talking about 2 or 4 billion, but the net amount of money we are actually getting as Kenya is 1 or 4 billion, because 100 billion shillings is already lost in conditions precedent. Chairman, if there is one thing that you have to stop is that one, because there is no basis. Secondly, some of the licenses that other players in the market are getting for 15 years, the buyer cornered us as Kenya to put on a length of 25 years. Members, my brothers and sisters, we are here committing our country for the next 25 years. And I want all of us to add 25 years to the age that we already have. And we commit that we can continue answering these questions. That we committed Kenya to a loss of 100 billion. That we are willing to answer that question until, if you are 40, you are 65. And what is the basis of even this condition precedent? It is just absurd, Chair. And this must stop. And some of these conversations that were done, that we take this discussion and this transaction so light that we are doing phone calls. Phone calls where Kenya is losing 100 billion shillings, that make this letter to the, when the transaction happened, Chair, it was a hurry because I thought this is the only person who can bail us out because we are nearing election, we need money. Chairman, have you looked at mobile termination rates? What conditions precedent did we give to the buyers? Conditions precedent, and as I'm repeating, is this, Chair. You want to sweeten the deal. In the markets, we say sweetening the deal. So that, okay, I'm selling this cow, but I'm also selling with the calf. You try to sweeten. So the condition precedent we gave is actually bigger than what we are selling. So we lose money on one hand through CA, one on licenses, 5 of them, over 100 billion shillings. Secondly, on this other side, Chair, we are here now pushing Kenyans into a corner through mobile termination rates. I know you'll do that homework.
So let us be clear that we are not valuing, Safaricom. We are valuing shares in Safaricom. And so it is away from the company and, Honorable Chair, the assets. But Ndindi, I need you to share with us on something. When we enacted the Companies Act in the 11th Parliament, you were not yet with us. I was at the center of it. We had a section 975, subsection 2B, in which we said any foreign company in Kenya to be registered here had to let go at least 30% shareholding. Was it to the government or to the local people? There had to be that percentage. Out of the idea that we needed to attract foreign investment in 2016, you remember, an amendment was brought, and when that amendment was brought, we deleted that provision. Now leaving the shares open to everybody. If I were to eat your mind, thinking about the place of Safaricom, do you think we should recommend a reinstatement of that provision? So that when we have strategic companies or corporations like Safaricom, there is the limit is set. Even if we are not to say local, we say the government shall have, on behalf of the people, at least this percentage, whether that, because I tend to think, Honorable Chair, that this could be what could have informed our having 35 then. It could not go below that. What is your thinking around that? But tied to that, what stops Vodacom from going to the market now that these shares are listed and incrementally, buying the shares to the level, that they want, so that we are justified in saying this is not the way to go. The shares are listed, and by the way, they will be buying not at 34, but at 28, 29. What stops them now from going there? And if they were to go, do you measure the loss to the country in terms of what we seek to do? On the transaction cost, as advocates, we have the Advocates Remuneration Order. And Honorable Ndindi, it will tell you, on this kind of transaction, you will charge this least amount. Of course, we don't have upper limits. So the fees a lawyer charges are guided. People keep speaking about 0.5 to 1.5. We were told even by the CS Treasury and other people. I'm not a finance guy. Is there an instrument under which this is prescribed so that we can look at it? But I agree with your presentation that, by the way, the higher the volume, the lower the commission. Stockbrokers we will investigate, later on. I end by commending you and requesting that either way, let the smoking gun be seen and let the bullet be shot. I thank you, Chair.
For economies to grow, don't give quotations, especially when you need money. When we institute a law on capping 30% on Safaricom, you can't do a law singularly for one company. You do it blanket for all the companies. So my leaning, economically speaking, I will not advocate for the change of law in terms of pushing international investor outside. I would actually advocate for a free flow of capital. That's how South Korea did, China did. Some of the brands we talk about, including China, all of them, Alibaba, that was American money, BYD, that was Berkshire Hathaway's money at some point. If you go to even Singapore, Keppel, they agree on other people's money, DSB Bank, other people's money. So I believe in an economy where let capital flow, and especially inwards, not outwards. The other thing is the same Honorable Kaluma asked. You know, this is the confusion we have been we may get into. Oh, Vodafone can buy this share cheaply in the market. Okay, they are reasonable. Let them go and buy. That's I'm repeating. They will not get supply. There is only 25% stake listed for Safaricom. Some are already held by institutional shareholders who are not selling because they know the price is not the current one. They know the market does not represent the valuation. Just as Rea Vipigo 27.5 was not representing the valuation, which we ended up having 85 shillings. It is the same thing. Honorable Chair, that is, on one license, we are losing 40 billion Kenya shillings. One license. On a discount, given how? Given only by the management of CA. They actually gave this authorization before the board met. It is just not right.
What's your point of order, Mr. Kaluma?
First, at page 4, it is indicated we are losing over 80 billion. When you turn over on the same matter, paragraph 12, it is over 70 billion. So we want to be clear on the amount. But what I heard the questioner asking is the evidence of these discounts and the monies that are being lost on renewal of licenses. Where is the evidence of it? And I'm asking this because if there is evidence, then it is huge.
No, that's why I think he hasn't even gone to answer he was just giving his view on where. So he hasn't gone to where that he was asked by a member to give evidence if there is. So just allow him to respond, and so that he can get to that question that was asked by the previous member.
Including how the waivers compute to the amount.
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. Mheshimiwa Ndindi.
Yes, thank you very much, Chair, and thank you very much, Honorable Kaluma also. How Kenya charges licenses is not anything you need to go and look for. It is cast on brick and mortar. It's not anything to negotiate. So it's upon this committee to check the agreement.
I think Mheshimiwa Ndindi, yes,
I go to the next.
As you said that, and I think one of the Mheshimiwas did agree that we need to call Communication Authority back to the committee to verify on that.
As Chair,
yes.
With due respect,
yes,
to Mheshimiwa Ndindi, since this is already a committee sitting, and he's been also a chair, and he understands the operators of the rest of the committees, I would wish any statement say here, it has more weight. Everyone is following, Kenyans are following. If today we would get that evidence here, more than the way Chair, we will have a reason now to call the other person with the evidence provided by your stakeholder so that it doesn't. Because they will also come here
I think
and tell us, wait, Chairman, they will come here and tell us, call the person who say to come here. And we will have.
And Mheshimiwa, let us not go through that route. And Mheshimiwa Mboni, allow me, I'm on the floor, please. I'll give you an opportunity. Just allow me.
Just a minute.
Mheshimiwa, the chair is on the floor. Just allow me, then I will.